you guys listen. So you guys listen to that piece that I just played. Let's look at the music in terms of concept or intention or idea. The song itself was basically composed to bring calm and give you a certain feeling. Okay. Now, two people completed this project or the song. Did you guys see the little windows around? Those are the every little aspect or every little component of the song that needs to be there in order to make the idea or the intention work. If even one of those little beats were off or didn't belong, that song could not have been listened to. Okay. So I want you guys to understand that concept to architecture, to any form of art, is essential. And you always have to start with an intention, with an idea or a concept. So what is this? Organization? That's okay. So let's look at some examples of concept in the world right now. I'm sure everybody's familiar with Frank Gehry, a very well-known architect in the U.S. Here. I've had the pleasure of meeting him in person. I was starstruck. But anyway, if you guys understand the concept of this building, the Disney Concert Hall, it's in Los Angeles, and I have a photo of it on the side that could show you exactly what the building looks like. Now, the intention of this building was to be an iconic building. So what Gehry wanted to do with this was he wanted it to speak. He wanted it to be a landmark. He wanted to be to kind of scream out and say, "Here I am. This building is important." In terms of his concept development, all he did was he took a piece of foil and threw it on the table and said, "There's your concept." If you can see the sketch here on that basic sketch, that's actually Gary's sketch on this building. So do you see how that piece of foil, when worked and engineered and processed, look at the building that it turned out to be. Now, of course, there were some problems with this building, but beside there are some more photos. The inside and outside kind of reflect. Look at the inside, the auditorium or the concert hall, the hall of the concert. Even that looks like things are coming at you. But that was the idea, that was the concept, and he did it. It was successful. Okay, so that's one. Let's look at another thing. So the concept or the idea for this building, which is the Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers dancing house in Prague, this style of architecture basically, if you can see it, invokes a sense of fluidity and movement, dynamic. So he took the idea from Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers dancing. You can see on the side. That was his concept for this building. And you see that this image, and look at the building. What do you guys think? Does it work or does it not? You see, it gives you the feeling, but it works. Okay. Let's look at someone else. Okay, another Frank Gehry. Wow, Frank Gehry is very, very popular today. Okay, so here, this building is the Opus building in Hong Kong, and the basic concept of this building was the region's signature flower, Bohemia. So in the sticks that you see, these members, basically, they're structural members. They are supposed to be bamboo shots. So he took that idea of the bloom of this flower in the bamboos and came up with this building. Okay. I'm just showing you guys examples of different concepts that other architects have used so that you guys can understand what I'm talking about. Okay, next, we are looking more now at an architect that is very much into nature. He loves to, his buildings are incredibly, it was way beyond their time. These buildings were literally built in 1950s and 60s. But his designs and his ideas. Now, in Kaufman House, this is called Falling Waters. The owner of this house was Mr. and Mrs. Kaufman, and they had this property, and it was a waterfall. So the client asked him to do a house for him so that he could see the waterfall. But Frank Lloyd Wright, what he did was like, wait, why do we need to just look? Why can't we just live on the waterfall? Why can't you be a part of nature? Why can't you just get out on any balcony and feel like you are on top of the waterfall? So you see, they basically, what he did was he anchored a post on the waterfall, and then he just kind of cantilevered a bunch of balconies. But if you see the middle part, this is circulation. You see how he separated the circulation and then all these other spaces. And his philosophy was organic architecture. And he wanted to develop his architecture based on its surroundings so that the art or the building kind of becomes a part of the environment. Okay. Um, let's look at Calatrava, Santiago Calatrava. So what I'm doing here with you guys is I'm showing you guys a variety of different concepts that very famous architects have used. And the buildings are out there. You guys could look it up. You could search. You can see. You can look at plans. You can do all sorts of things. So Santiago Calatrava is actually one of my favorite architects, aside from Frank Lloyd Wright. This turning torso, it's in Sweden, in Malmo. This is basically, the concept is a turning torso. It's exactly what it says. So what it is he's exploring human body in motion as it twists as far as it can without turning around. So it's the capacity of a human turning. So what he did was he twists the building 90 degrees from ground all the way up, and every 5 floors are angled, every 5 angle, so that they can have a smooth sort of like a torso building. So let me see. This is another Calatrava. Calatrava always does, he takes his inspirations from anatomy, from environment. He does a lot of iconic work. So if you guys can see here, he's some of his work, especially this one. I didn't want to name all these projects because it was just gonna take too long, and I wasn't gonna introduce you to work of architecture because you guys can do that on your own. But I wanted to show you examples. So if you, in terms of Calatrava, Santiago, he was an engineer and an architect. So he does, some of his work are incredible because he knows what he's doing, but he takes his inspiration from anatomy, from natural. He has done bridges, sculptural bridges, and he's done a lot. You guys can look at Santiago Calatrava. So this is more of like anatomy. Okay. Let's look at the late Zaha Hadid, my very favorite. She was way beyond her time. Her concept or her work was she wanted to design very futuristic, but at the same time, her buildings kind of belong in the site. So it kind of mushed or got together or kind of combined with the environment that it came in. So if you can see this kind of looked like a spaceship, but if you look around the other areas, this was supposed to be an iconic building. So she has definitely used the same angles, the same forms that she wants. She's very dynamic. She wants her geometries to be very complex and kind of defy gravity. That's the kind of work she does, and that's why she was so famous. So you see that anything can become a concept. Basically anything, as long as you know the idea, and then you can use your own understanding as to how you can work that idea into a functioning, working design system. Here's another Zaha Hadid. As you can see, she is very fluid design. It's very soft. She, as I said, she defies the concept of gravity, because you look at it and you're like, wow, what's going on? It's very futuristic, but at the same time, it's fluid and it's very dynamic. That's the idea. I'm sure these are 3, 4 different buildings, but if you can see, you can do basically anything. The world is your oyster. Okay, so I saw one building, which is in Iceland, and it's just an abstract design. What the concept of this building, which was very interesting to me, I looked at it and I was like, wow, this is kind of cool. The concept is basically a flipped can or container in the wood, in the desert, or in the forest, or whatever. I mean, not forest. The what do you call it? Pool, sort of. Basically, the site. What the architect is trying to do is basically abstract kada falling container and opened a flipped container, and then the sides of it was, used glass, and this is the building. I don't know if you guys could see the building properly. Wait, I have. Okay, let me move this. And very interesting. I mean, it's concept. I mean, it might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I thought it was very interesting to look at. And the pool and the way it was designed, everything's just very, very interesting. Nowadays, we're looking at invisible architecture. I didn't even know this existed, to be honest with you. So there's another concept. People are making buildings that don't just basically blend into its environment, like this, or like this, or like this. Incredible things are happening in the world. And design, let me leave you guys with one statement. Design is a dialogue, and the concept basically ensures that you have something to talk about. That's it. Thank you, guys. Let's stop sharing.